Hi folks, and welcome back to another Travels with Rover. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Corinne.
And where are we going today?
Well, we are going to do a little Jeep ride up California Gulch and then maybe do a turn off to Picayune and Placer Gulch.
Should be a good day. These trails kind of lead other places to other trails, but we're going to kind of treat them as a group of individual trails today. Just because we're up here, we figured we might as well go see the upper trails before we start heading down.
Yep, so we've been spending a night near Animas Forks, Ghost Town, which was at the end of Engineer Pass ride, and we're starting our next day on the trails. We'll probably camp another night on these trails, so we're not too concerned about making time.
No, it's going to be a slow, easy day. Probably maybe not even a whole day, which might be nice. So we're just pulling out of our campsite. I like these little designated campsites. They've done a nice job with those and dispersing them on to places that are really kind of nice and interesting. So that point of view, they're really terrific. So Corinne and I are heading back up towards Animas Fork.
On County Road 2.
On County Road 2. And what trail are we going to do today, Corinne?
We're going to head out on California Gulch and the Picayune and what was the other one? Something Gulch.
It was another gulch.
Yep. And there should be some old mining sites and mill sites that'll be along the way.
So that's what we're going to do today. I think we're going to probably camp up there someplace. Probably won't be a super long day, but it depends on what kind of interesting trails we find and how long it takes us to do them. So we're just going through Animas Forks again. Animas Forks. I'm sorry, Animas Forks.
Onto California Gulch.
So we'll be heading down for a while this morning.
No.
Or up. Yes. Corinne's right. We're going up.
There's a few mill sites along here, and it's about 5 miles.
Well, the first thing you see starting up California Gulch is the big mill. I think it's called the Columbus Mill.
Yes.
And it is a large building with lots of tailings piles beside it. The road itself is mostly rocky with a couple of small steps.
It's rated as easy.
Yeah, it's
Okay, we've parked here at Columbus Mill, and this is the exterior view from the southeast side, and it's just a massive building, very well constructed to still be standing. There's various parts like stairs and sorting areas and troughs. I'm not sure all the technical features of it. Someone with more knowledge of mining probably would know all the stuff, so if you want to comment down below and tell us a little more, we'd enjoy hearing about it. Shawn's doing a walk up this very steep trail to a couple cabins up there, so we'll see if there's anything good up that way. So I've just come about 3/4 of the way up the trail. I'm at the back wall of the mill. There was a little entrance from the side, so I came in. It looks stable enough. There's a huge concrete chute down here. Looks like it might have sent ore down to a lower level. And there's some iron plates on the side. So there was probably a hopper or something there. And in this part of the mill, There's several stairways going to upper levels. Over here you can look down to the front that's collapsed. And looking up, there's the edge of the slope roof at the front of the building. And no one's going to go up these stairs right now. It's missing a few steps along the way. Maybe intentionally, so people didn't get into trouble. And some of the roof is coming in. So it's important to use a lot of caution. I try and only walk under what looks like very stable, secure beams. And there's our exit, so we'll go back out and up to the cabins.
So we used the drone to investigate some of the more suspect areas of the building, and it was pretty hard flying in here. Getting in and out of the building was actually quite a challenge. This last shot is of the central beam, and you can notice on the sides that the further I get up, the more the building was broken. So I just walked up the trail, Billy Goat Trail, up behind the mill. There's another building up there, and it looks like there was a little railroad or something that went up to it. Can't really tell for sure. Yeah, it looks like little railroad ties went all the way up to it. Have no idea what they were doing up there with this. So I've walked up high enough that I can see inside the third or fourth story of the mill. It looks like it's the third story, but each story is 2 stories tall. It's kind of a absolutely amazing place. I know I've said that about a dozen times now, but it really is quite striking.
Just back of the mill site, Columbus Mill, there's a stream that's coming right out from this rock cave that's in the side of the hill. You can see those old cabins up there. They look like they're fairly recent compared to the mill itself, so maybe someone was still living here after the mill shut down. Here's a closer view of where the stream is coming out. There's an iron grate there and some bricks just above the grate to hold it in place. Noticed a few footsteps next to the stream, so animals might be coming to use this as a watering hole.
So we continued up the road. Here we're just passing the road that goes off to Picayune Gulch. We will come back here later in the day. So what's this place called, Corinne?
This is the Frisco Mill with the entrance to the Bagley Tunnel.
Not much left of this. So the road's gotten a little bit more narrow just after we went past the Bagley Tunnel, Frisco Mill and Bagley Tunnel. And it's a little bit more of a shelf road now, kind of weaving its way in around the various rock outcrops. I suspect we're going to get a lot more steps as we kind of go along this little road. And we're going to get a lot of off-camber stuff going here. Oops. Scared Corinne?
Didn't scare me. I just don't want to be thrown back and forth into the window.
Oh, it's half the fun. As we're driving along here, we get these occasional big patches of wildflowers. And they're really quite pretty. I'm sure they're not showing up in the video anywhere near as pretty as we're seeing them. Here's the first vehicle that we actually met while we were driving, and it's only the first of a number of vehicles. But the road is quite wide from here, quite a long ways up, so there was really no issue passing vehicles. And Corinne and I switched drivers about here, met a couple more folks coming down the hill, but of course, as you can see, the road is pretty wide, so it was no issue for them to pass us. And now we start heading back up the road. As you can see sort of from this video, the beautiful little stream running down beside us was absolutely gorgeous. Well, we're on the last stretch to get to the pass top of the pass. And I'm driving again. Corinne decided to make sure to do the really narrow hitchback or the switchbacks. Was enough.
That wasn't bad. It's the steep part I'm wanting to do. But this is pretty smooth. It's not as rocky as
the little road coming up here is beautiful. Thin, narrow.
Yeah, not really that bad though.
But
okay, for one vehicle.
For one of us at a time, it's just perfect.
Oh my goodness. Where did we park? Behind the Jeep? This one?
Yeah, I think
Toyota or whatever he is. Not too far over.
I'm not going that far. I just have to make sure I'm off the road.
You're off the road. Go over to. This is actually a little taller than the Engineer Pass we came over yesterday. This is another 160 feet up. This is a view of California Gulch. The road we came up from Animas Forks to California Pass. And you can see some of the switchbacks there that we came along. And we've made it to the top of the pass now. Still a few spots of snow here and there on some of the slopes. Looking down the opposite side to the west, you go down Corkscrew Gulch, or you can also take one of the other routes, and down there, lovely alpine lake called Lake Como. So we just came down the road that those folks are starting to head up. It's down into Poughkeepsie Gulch. We didn't go all that far. We just saw this beautiful lake down here. Decided that we needed to come down and have our lunch down here. Well, we initially had the lake all to ourselves, but very shortly after we got there, a series of razors came down and they joined us. We had a nice little visit, met some new people. And they're just taking off up the hill right now, and we're going to follow them in a couple minutes. So we had lunch down at Lake Como, and now we have to work our way back up this rocky trail up to those upper passes, and then we're going to backtrack down California Gulch again so that we can pick up the Picayune and Placer Gulch Trail. And we just completed the uphill from Lake Como to California Pass, and we're going to work our way back down. This road was in pretty good shape, not a lot of large rocks, unlike the Lake Como road. So it's just a matter of controlling your speed and watching for little washout grooves on the downhill side.
Pull over the side, let a uphill going vehicle go by.
Go.
I think I'm back to the road, aren't I?
Yep. I'm going to turn right up here, but not this little road. It's that one down there.
Yeah. This is called
Placer Gulch.
Placer Gulch.
And the combination of Placer Gulch and Picayune Gulch is 6.5 miles or so.
Okay. Is it an in and back or is it in and out?
No, it'll meet up with County Road 2 over there.
Oh, okay.
South of where we camped.
So we are on a new road. We are heading up the road to Placer Gulch. And we just came off of the California Gulch road. Vehicle coming down, way up there. Placer Gulch Road is a good deal more narrow than California Gulch, and there are places where it looks like it's been repaired from a washout. As you're heading up the Placer Gulch Road, you will come to a side road that'll take you down to the Sound Democrat Mill. It's a tricky road, but it's absolutely worth the trip down to the mill. Lots of chippies running back and forth across the road.
That's prime chippy country.
Yeah, we seem to be in prime chippy country. Marmots and chippies. The road is actually quite short. It's about a mile down to the parking lot at the bottom. And then there's a little walk up to the mill.
So we're in the interior of the Sound Democrat stamp mill. And it was originally a single stamp mill. And then it was expanded to have 5 stamps. So the stamps would pound the rock, and the rock would be lowered down some chutes. And after some processing, the rock would end up down on shaker tables, where they'd separate the heavy rock from the lighter rock. And the heavier rock was usually the component with the precious ore that they were collecting. This is a chute at the top end of the mill where the ore would be brought down and fed down into the stamps.
This mill is particularly good because there are some signs that give you an idea of what was going on at the mill as you walk around. It was a terrific way to do a little self-guided tour. Our witness did. This looks like a concrete block. Wow. Guys are bringing all that concrete blocks in here.
And then a sharp left.
Oh, there's a shaft.
Yeah, that's the Gold Prince mine, I think. There's a couple mines marked here.
Wasn't sure I was going to. So Corinne tells us we've reached elevation of 12,667 feet, and we're still going up.
Way down there is where we started. You can maybe make out the stamp mill, South Democrat stamp mill there on the center right. And we came from over where that hillside is and the trees that are at the bottom of the gulch. There's a few vehicles off in the distance working their way up towards us. We've come to a relatively flat spot here, and I think we're going to go up just a little bit higher. We're at well over 12,000 feet of elevation here.
So we are just about as high as we've been this whole trip. And I think we might be at the top, but I could be wrong about that. We're driving along a very narrow shelf road.
And relatively flat.
It's relatively flat. It's got a lot of little bumps in it, but really I'm not having to climb up any rocks or steps or anything of that sort, so it's pretty benign. So we're just starting down, and we're at 12,718 feet. It's way up there, where the air is pretty thin. Well, we're definitely heading down, and it seems to be a little bit steeper coming down this side than coming up the other side. And Corinne tells me it might get even steeper.
This is like we came up easy.
This is easy peasy.
Easy.
Except the road's really narrow through here.
Yeah, lucky we don't have oncoming traffic.
Yeah.
This has been a quiet road relative to the California Gulch. So I think it's a little less popular.
Which has been nice.
And also the fact that we're on a Monday, so some of the people that headed back to town to jobs, and we have fewer people on the trails today.
So every once in a while we run across these absolutely beautiful chalets up in the mountains. Just can't imagine what it would be like to wake up here with the views from this mountain retreat. We are going down really fast right now. The road's not too bad, just lots of medium-sized rocks on it, but boy, it is steep, and the drop-off is pretty severe on Corinne's side. So it is, we're almost down. I'm in 4 low, by the way, and I'm playing between 3rd and 2nd gear in order to control my speed coming down here without having to ride the brakes too much. And without getting in, letting the truck get away from me, which would be really easy to do because the rocks are rolling with me. Gravity works. So Corinne and I have probably found the worst bit of the road. Not only is it extremely narrow, it's also extremely rocky. And people going up the other way have created quite a few potholes by trying to accelerate too fast. And the sides look pretty darn soft on this one, so you don't want to get anywhere near them. But we are very near the bottom. We're half a mile or less to the bottom at this point. So Corinne and I have done a great big circle today. Oh, that's not a camper. That's a piece of wood.
Two marmots.
And two marmots looking at us. Yep. Wondering, what? It's Monday. You guys are supposed to leave. So we are back at the same camp spot that we had last night because we did this giant loop that ended up right back here again. So that was kind of fun. So tell us a little bit about your thoughts for the day, Corinne.
I thought it was a lot more relaxing. We saw some nice people on the trail, met some people, but it wasn't nearly as busy with oncoming traffic. Often we were with the traffic flow, and where we did have opposing traffic, there was usually a good pull-off.
And then once we got off of the California Gulch Road, we get on the Placer Gulch Road, and I think we pretty much had it to ourselves, didn't we? I think we saw a few other vehicles, but I don't think we actually had to pass any oncoming vehicle. Oh, we had to pass one.
Yeah.
So we had that road almost to ourselves, and then when we got to the other side, to Placer Gulch,
Picayune Gulch.
Picayune Gulch, it was entirely on our own, so that was really terrific.
Yeah, that was particularly nice because that portion had a lot of narrow shelf road and steep descent, so it was nice not have to worry about oncoming traffic.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, especially the shelf road coming down Placer Gulch. No, Picayune Gulch.
Picayune Gulch, that's right.
The road is actually pretty good shape, but it's very, very narrow, and there's a number of spots where there's just someone would be backing up a long way in order to let somebody else pass, because it gets pretty narrow in there in a few spots. But we didn't see anybody, so it was terrific. And there's still other roads we didn't go down up there that I thought would be also interesting. So we'll have to go back and try some of the other roads.
And I liked messing around at the Frisco Mill and the what was the South Democrat Mill?
Sound Democrat Mill.
Sound Democrat Mill, yeah.
Yeah, that was actually, and the Sound Democrat Mill has most of the stamping and shaking tables still inside, which is really cool. You don't really very often see a fairly intact stamp mill like that, and it was great spending a little time in there.
We got some cool weather tonight. It's time to pull out the fire can and enjoy a little fire and a hot tea.
Yep, we're about to sit down, have our hot tea with our fire can.
It's been a pretty gloomy evening, but I saw some opportunity for maybe some good color in the clouds back behind me, which is just to the south of where our camp is. So I thought, well, I'll run and get a camera set up and see if I can get anything really interesting tonight. And I know that last night it lit up pretty good, but we didn't have the cameras out. I was just doing some time lapses. So tonight I thought I'd get out the good Canon camera and see what I could do. You can see up in the distance the center peak, the lower peak, directly in the center of my frame is lit up nicely. And there's some yellow up in the clouds, but it also has that look with the texture of the clouds like it's on fire. So I'm doing a few of those pictures now, and hopefully we'll also get some oranges and reds and just make this really fiery. Here's my camera setup. I'm on a tripod with a shutter release. I'm in aperture priority, I've set my ISO to 100. I've set my aperture to f16, and I'm about Kelvin of 5,000 for the white balance. And I've got the landscape mode of picture style going. And taken a few shots. I've included a 3-stop graduated filter on, and I'm using my wide angle lens at about 26 millimeters. Just in my foreground, you can see there's a tree stump over to the left, and there's one of those brown BLM road marker, trail marker signs. I think I can tone down that bright color on the tree trunk, and I can probably clone out that brown sign there in post-processing. On my camera, my foreground looks a little darker than I like, but if I make it brighter, I'm going to lose that color in the sky. Also, when I look at my histogram, I've got enough data on the left side that indicates that I should be able to do some masking in my post-processing and bring those shadows up so that they're not so dark. That color up there has just been awesome. It shows a little bit brighter on the video here, but it's much darker on my camera. I've toned down the brightness in the sky using my filter. So I've used a tree in the midground as my focal point.
Well, we sure hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give us a thumbs up.
And if you'd like to see more of our videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below.
Right down there.
We appreciate it. And you can hit the notification bell so that you're notified when a new video is published.
And we love hearing from you, especially if you've met us along the trail. It's just to remind us that you said hello at the time and enjoyed seeing the video. We always love getting your comments and thoughts and ideas. And I guess that will bring this to an end. So until next time, bye for now.
Bye for now.
Not only did Corinne get a great photograph that evening, but she also captured an absolutely beautiful time lapse. And here it is.